Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Raphael Cerrato, the head baseball coach at Rhode Island. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So practices have started. I know it's been a challenge to get outside and play. Obviously, with the weather that's impacting everybody around the country, especially in the Northeast. But what have practices been like? And going into this season, what have you learned about your team so far in these first few weeks?
Well, I love the energy of our guys. Despite not being able to get outside, we have not had great weather the last few weeks to say, and I know a lot of the country's being hit. I mean, everywhere. I can't complain too much about that. It is, we're playing college baseball in Northeast, and you have to assume there's going to be some poor weather in January. But the attitude of the guys has been awesome. I think things have gone well. Pitchers have been throwing live. We have a good indoor facility to throw live in, so that's been great. We've getting a lot of swings in, a lot of hitting. Um, Doing some stuff defensively in the gym, but today we're super excited that I think we're going to get outside for the first time in a week or so. On our infield, they plowed our infield, so we should be a balmy 34 degrees today. So we'll get out there and get some fungos and some defense in.
Yeah. So kind of take me around the diamond and kind of tell who are some of the returning players and maybe some players to watch for you guys this year.
Sure. We returned two of our or three veteran guys have been around for 4 years. Eric Genter in right field has been one of our best hitters. Anthony DePino at third base, who's our career home run leader, and then Rob a bit. The first of workouts. For the veteran guys, we got a lot of competition. We've said with the team, it's going to be tough to even just to pick a travel roster. And I think the depth chart from 4 or 5 on position players to 15, 16 is very, very close. So more so than I've ever had, I think, in my career here. So it's going to be hard and it's super competitive. But I like the group. We got a good transfer outfielder from Endicott, Nick Notarangelo. We return our starting shortstop, Reese Maroney, who's maybe the best defensive shortstop I've ever coached. Um, Jack Hopko's another returner, and DJ Perrin, who's a transfer last year from UMass Dartmouth. They'll be splitting time, first base, outfield, DH, middle lineup guys for us. So we return a lot of guys who played a lot last year. I don't know if there's going to be any freshmen starting positionally this year. I doubt that. But there's a couple good ones that are going to be fighting for time.
Yeah. So really also the pitching staff, what's that going to be looking like this year?
Well, I think I mean, on paper, it's got a shot to be a real strength of ours. So last year was frustrating. We felt really good about our team going into the season. And our one pitcher, Tristan Levesque, who was preseason pitcher of the year in the A10, injured his hamstring and threw 3 innings the entire season. And our number two starter, uh, Braden Perry, got Tommy John in February. So we missed our number one, number two starters, which was tough to do. But some young guys stepped up, some freshmen. Both Tristan and Braden are back, which is it's like picking up two stud transfers, veteran transfers. So we're super excited about that. And we return a lot of guys who pitched last year. Connor Johnston, who was a starting pitcher, Evan Maloney, who was a Wake Forest transfer last year, was probably our number one as a redshirt freshman last year. Um, and Joe Sabbath is probably going to be our closer. Josh Kopetsky, a really big time arm, left-handed pitcher, and also Jeremy Arena, who's one of our best relievers, who ended up starting at the end of the season. So we returned some guys, some real veteran pitchers that have been around. And what we're excited about too is we really haven't had a lot of lefties either out of the bullpen. So I think this year we're going to have two or three that can help us. One in particular, Parker Aiken, is a freshman from upstate New York, sidearm lefty, really tough to hit. Another freshman impact pitcher is Manny Santos, who's also upstate Albany area. Um, Big time arm, low mid 90s, plus slider. Jake Cullen, freshman pitcher from Westford, Mass. Huge upsides, been up to 94. We're excited about him. He had a really good session, live session 2 days ago. So I'm excited about our. This is the most I've been excited about our our pitching staff in years, to be honest. And you need pitching to win, so I'm really excited about that. It's just maintaining the health, trying to stay healthy. We're doing everything we can to make sure our guys are strong. Everything we do, just need a little luck sometimes, and that's the key thing this year for us is we've had some injuries last few years that have kind of derailed and prevented us from reaching our potential. Not to make excuses, but when you lose your number one and number two, that's tough. But I like our pitching staff. I think that's going to be a strength of ours, and we're excited to get out there and start playing.
All right, so you let's kind of preview the non-conference portion of the schedule. You guys start off with William and Mary, and then which also includes a trip to Oregon, trip to New Mexico, going to Kentucky as well before A10 play opens up. But what do you like about your non-conference slate before as you start the season?
Um, Once again, it's going to be super competitive. We're playing four good to great teams. Um, we've always, that's kind of been a tradition of ours, is always play a really tough preseason schedule. And we like to play the big teams and challenge ourselves, and we've always done that. Some people think we're crazy with the kind of schedule we play, but we want to compete against the best, and we want to get to a regional. And when you get to a regional, you got to beat these and play these teams, try to beat them. So we've always played a super competitive non-conference schedule. The one thing that's changed this year is that we've increased our A10 schedule to 30 games. So we only have four non-conference weekends as opposed to six in the past. But we like what we have. William Mary is going to be good. We played him a number of times in the past since I've been head coach. Oregon preseason 12th in one poll I saw. That'll be an exciting trip. Not too many. I've never been to their campus, so we're excited about that. Seeing their facilities and really getting after and challenging ourselves against potentially a top 10, World Series caliber team. New Mexico is a different experience as well because I don't think anyone on our team has been to New Mexico and Albuquerque. So that's another thing we love doing here is just going to different parts of the country, and having our kids through their 4 years here is experience basically seeing all kinds of different campuses and schools and super competitive schedule. Um, and Eastern Kentucky, another one, a little smaller school, but super competitive, great facility. So yeah, we're really excited about the trips this year and getting after it, and hopefully, our goal is to win series. I mean, I don't care if we're playing Oregon or St. Bonaventure or UConn, whatever it might be. Like our goal is to win every series and go out there and compete. I think with the pitching staff we have, we're certainly able to compete against the best. That's what we expect from our team this year.
I know you just mentioned it, but the outlook for the A10 this year, from your perspective.
You know what? It's it's really hard to tell because I don't really know what teams lost or gained through the transfer portal. So it's so much different than 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago when you kind of basically you knew exactly what was returning for each team, who they get, and who's going to be good. So it's really I don't really look into like, all right, where did every transfer go? Who did VCU pick up? I mean, we'll eventually see, and when we play them, we'll do the scouting reports, all that stuff. But in terms of the offseason, I don't care. I'm worried about our club and what we're doing and who we have. Um, so it's hard to tell, to be honest. I mean, I think we have a chance to compete for a championship with the team we have. Not, I think I know we have a chance to compete, so I'm excited about that. I mean, always the teams that are very good. I mean, VCU is always very good. They have a new coach, young guy. Um, so we'll see how they're going to be. St. Louis is always good. Um, they've been strong. Dayton has a brand new coach who I know very well, who's an excellent coach, but they have like 20 plus new guys on their team. So it's just you don't know year to year really with how things are in the NCAA. So, but perennially, those teams are good. Davidson has been super competitive. Where the St. Joe's has been good last years, but I know they lost a couple really, really good players to the transfer portal. So who knows how good they'll be, who they picked up. So it's just hard to tell. It's just so different from years past with guys, with teams and programs. So we shall see. We'll see. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I honestly almost have no idea which team is going to be, better or worse than last year.
Well, I mean, that's the trend among the couple of other A10 coaches that have been on here, that they've said the exact same thing. So kind of everyone's in that same boat. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that.
Mhm.
So the next, only a few more weeks until the season. What do you want to accomplish before then to get ready for when you play William and Mary in a few weeks?
I mean, I was really hoping to be able to get outside. The years, it's tough, to be able to do whether it's scrimmage or just a coach pitch game or just, getting fungos and BP on the field. I was hoping to be able to do that because that's the toughest adjustment from a northern school that can't get outside much is just like the speed of the game, just as little things like base running and seeing the ball off the bat. So that's where number one we're hoping. I know today we'll get out there. I think we'll probably be able to look into weather in the future. I don't see, knock on wood, snow coming really, but that's what we're hoping to do is just to be able to do some things outside. But I think the main thing is getting our pitchers ready. They've been looking good. I'm excited about it. A couple guys have had some minor issues that are coming back and seem to be healthy now on the mound. So we're excited to see them get going. But it's getting our pitchers ready, and getting our hitters. What we're doing now is just getting our swings in, getting a ton of live at bats. I mean, I think our kids will get 40 plus at bats, live at bats before we open up, which is always great. And then just, and if we're indoors, we're indoors. And I tell our team every day, if we're indoors, we have to be even more focused on the little things, because we're not on the field, in terms of doing some base running drills or defensive drills. It's being super, super focused and really trying to make it as similar as you can to being outdoors. Last year we were really lucky. We got the scrimmage on the field 8 or 9 times. So far this year we haven't had the luck. You never know year by year, but it's maintaining that it can be tough because baseball obviously is an outdoor sport. So it's just keeping the good energy and good enthusiasm, and really, really focusing on the little things when you have to be inside and um, and not and not making an excuse. We're inside, we're Northern School, whatever. We're going to be ready and we're going to be ready to compete and hopefully win some games right away.
Yeah. All right, Raphael, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck to Rhode Island this coming season.
I appreciate Casey. Thanks for having me on.